Hello and welcome. Very good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on Inspire India. This is a show where we bring you stories of the good Samaritans, those who have decided to step out of their comfort zones and reach out for others who are in need. Their idea is to look out for those around us. They are just not content keeping themselves safe, but they are also looking out for those who need to be taken care of because of the lockdown restrictions, where we have been focusing a lot on migrant workers and daily wage earners who are in shelter homes. We've been focusing on their needs, but today our focus is slightly different. We are going to look at those caregivers who are taking care of stray animals, the animals around in our vicinity who depend on humans for their daily sustenance. And we are also going to look at those individuals who have taken the huge responsibility of undertaking the cremation of COVID-19 patients. So I have three very special guests with me today, this afternoon, to tell us their stories, because let's not forget, there are silent creatures around us. And I've often wondered whether the plant and the animal kingdom is actually confused what has happened to mankind, why the human race is out of action for so long. But then they must be taken care of for those needs for which they depend on the humans. And luckily for us, the good news is there are some individuals who are doing that. So without any delay, let me just introduce my guests this afternoon. Mumbai-based Gurminder Kaur, part of a group initiative called Possum. It is a group of 7 young professionals who in the normal course of, during the normal period, are engaged in feeding stray animals and taking care of their medical needs. But then, like I said, even during this lockdown period, there has been no break in this act of kindness, that they are continuing to do so in the service of those stray animals who are left to fend for themselves. So they are able to sustain this initiative even during this period and feed the hungry animals who depend on them for the daily sustenance. Possum gets financial support from the salaries of its members, so they are just pulling in resources. A few of them have come together to do this, so we will have Gurminder talk to us all about his experience and how he goes about doing this on a day-to-day basis. Welcome to the show, Gurminder Kaur. A pleasure to have you on Inspire India today. My next guest is Kolkata-based Surajit Dakka. We will have Surajit join us very shortly. But before that, let me introduce my third guest, Pune-based Anjum Imandar, who's the president and founder of Mulniwazi Muslim Munch. Okay, I'm told Surajit is with us right now. We were not able to connect to him earlier. So Surajit is Kolkata-based. He is part of an initiative called Helping the Voiceless. Surajit Dakka and a group of good Samaritans go around Kolkata feeding dogs every day, much like what Gurminder also does in Mumbai. So we will have Surajit tell us his story, his experience, and how he manages to do this despite all the restrictions. Surajit ventures into the deserted stretches of the city of Kolkata as well, taking a lot of risks on a day-to-day basis to reach out to the voiceless creatures, making sure that they don't sleep hungry. So welcome to the show, Surajit Dakka. Pleasure to have you with us on Inspire India. My third guest is Pune-based Anjum Imandar, president and founder of Mulniwazi Muslim Munch. This is an initiative that is working towards conducting the last rites of COVID-19 patients. Remember, this is a high-risk job, something that Anjum Imandar is doing. And this, of course, requires a lot of protocols to be followed as well as per international guidelines. So in this case, a group of young men have come forward in the city offering their services to conduct the last rites of the deceased persons. Now, as Muslims, initially they started with the burial rituals, but now I am told that Anjum Imandar and his associates also conducts rituals for other religions and faiths. So I welcome you to Inspire India. Anjum Imandar, thanks for joining us this afternoon. My first question goes to Gurminder. Gurminder, I was just looking at the kind of work that you do, and it's truly inspiring to see that people like you are looking out for the stray animals. But first of all, tell us how and when did you start, and what has been your experience so far? I'm not able to hear my guest. Yes, my producer tells me that there is a bit of an audio disconnect. We have to try and fix that. let me go across to my next guest, Surajit Dakka, who is in Kolkata. Surajit, you are doing a similar service of taking care of stray animals. Which is the area that you're operating in Kolkata, and how do you go about your job? How do you do this on a daily basis? Okay, I'm not able to hear Surajit, so I need to know whether the viewers are able to hear him, but I'm not able to hear Surajit at the moment, unfortunately. I'm not able to hear Surajit, so I am just going to allow my team backstage to fix those technical issues. But right now, the idea here on Inspire India viewers is to bring you those stories of people who are stepping up efforts to help the needy and the underprivileged. Every day at 1 p.m. we bring you this show where we talk about those stories to in fact inspire everyone to look out for those around you. Yes, we are doing our bit by staying home and staying safe. That is extremely important because that is going to break the chain of transmission of coronavirus. But there is another chain that needs to be built, and that has to be the human chain of support and cooperation and collaboration. We cannot win this alone. We have to look out for each other, and therefore we have taken up this initiative to bring to you stories of those individuals who are doing just that. The government cannot cover for each and every person who is in need. Remember, in Mumbai alone, there are about 7 lakh migrant workers camped across the city in various shelter homes. Each one of them cannot be fed 2 meals a day by the government. But there are certain individuals, ordinary citizens, common citizens like you and me, who are taking the responsibility of doing this job. And not just that, there are individuals, like I just mentioned, like Gurminder and like Surajit, who are also looking out to the stray animals, making sure that those animals who depend on humans for their daily sustenance are not left to die on the streets, and they would die a merciless death if their needs are not taken care of. They need their daily sustenance as well, which is why we are looking at these stories of inspiring stories of people who are doing their bit on a day-to-day basis. We have 3 such remarkable citizens today. Unfortunately, we are not able to fix the audio connection. A lot of us are working from home in order to stay safe, and therefore a lot of technical issues also that we are coping up with. But I imagine we are going to hear from all our guests. Our third guest again is an extremely extraordinary person called Anjum Imandar, who has started this initiative of conducting burials for COVID-19 patients, and I have a lot of questions for him. I just hope that we can fix the audio connection as quickly as possible. But just to tell you about Anjum Imandar as well, here is an initiative that works towards conducting the last rites of COVID-19 victims. We're going to take a very short break. We'll come back and talk to our guests on Inspire India this afternoon. Stay with us.